I made several videos on the situation of UK citizens in EU countries after Brexit, and some people asked for a very certain one because there was talk about Malta with connection to British citizens living there and how they were treated after Brexit. And that's why I want to talk about Malta today. And of course, I had a look for the numbers as well. As of January 2023, Malta has issued 115 leave orders for British citizens since Brexit. This is one of the highest numbers of leave orders issued by any EU countries for British citizens. And Malta has issued leave orders for British citizens since Brexit for a variety of reasons. There were issues with the residency status. Some British citizens who have been living in Malta for many years have not applied for residency permits, or their permits have expired, and this can make them liable to be deported. And Malta has deported a number of British citizens who have been convicted of crimes such as drug trafficking and fraud. And Malta has also deported some British citizens who have been deemed to be a threat to public order, such as those who have been involved in domestic violence or in hate crimes. It's important to note that not all British citizens who have been issued with leave orders by Malta have been deported immediately. Some have been allowed to stay in Malta if they can meet certain conditions, such as paying a fine or agreeing to leave the country within a certain time period. But this, for such a small country, high number of leave orders issued by Malta for British citizens since Brexit has been a source of concern for some British nationals who live in the country. But Malta also denied residence permits to British citizens after Brexit. This is because the UK is no longer a member of the European Union, and as such, British citizens are no longer automatically eligible for residency in Malta. In order to obtain a residence permit in Malta, British citizens must now meet certain requirements, such as having a valid job offer, sufficient financial resources, and of course a clean criminal record. And they must also apply for a residence permit before they arrive in Malta, and they must pay a fee. The denial of residence permits to British citizens has been, as I said, a source of concern for some British nationals who already live in Malta. They argue that Malta is being unfairly harsh on British citizens and that the denial of residence permits is making it difficult for them to stay in the country, which is quite true. Malta has defended its actions, arguing that it's simply enforcing its immigration laws, taking control of their borders. And the government has also said that it's committed to treating all foreigners fairly, regardless of their nationality. However, the denial of residence permits to British citizens has also had a negative impact on the Maltese economy. Many British citizens who live in Malta work in the tourism and financial sectors, and their departure has led to job losses in these sectors. It is unclear how the situation will develop in the future, and it's possible that Malta will relax its rules on residence permits for British citizens, but it's also possible that the rules will remain in place as they are. Only time will tell what the long-term impact of Brexit will be on British citizens living in Malta. Before Brexit, British citizens did not need a visa to enter Malta, and they could stay in the country for up to 3 months without a visa or a permit. However, if they wanted to stay in Malta for more than 3 months, they needed to apply for a residency permit. After Brexit, British citizens are no longer automatically eligible for residency in Malta. They must now meet the same requirements as citizens of every other non-EU country. And this means that they must apply for a residency permit before they arrive in Malta, and they must pay a fee. And there are indeed requirements for a residence permit in Malta. First is having a valid passport, then having a clean criminal record, and having sufficient financial resources to support themselves and their family in Malta. And they need a valid job offer in Malta or being self-employed. And they need a medical certificate stating that they are in good health. But they also need adequate accommodation in Malta. And the application process for a residence permit in Malta can take several months. And as I said, there is a fee. And Malta is just a small island country in the Mediterranean Sea. It's the smallest country in the European Union with a population of just over 500,000 people. Malta is indeed a popular tourist destination known for its beaches, history and culture. Malta is a member of the EU since 2004 and it's also a member of the United Nations, the Commonwealth of Nations and the Organization of Islamic Cooperation. Malta is a neutral country and does not have a military. The official language of Malta is Maltese, which is a Semitic language with a strong Italian influence. But English is also widely spoken in Malta. The capital of Malta is Valletta, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And other major cities in Malta include Sliema, St. Julian's, and Birkirkara. The economy of Malta is based on tourism, financial services, and manufacturing, and Malta is also a popular location for call centers and IT companies. Malta is a relatively prosperous country with a high standard of living. The unemployment rate is low and the crime rate is low. Malta is a safe and welcoming country for tourists and also for immigrants. And in this case, I usually don't do this on those videos, but I want to talk about a little bit. Many don't care of Malta, so I have some additional facts here. For example, Malta is the world's smallest archipelago with an independent government. And Malta has the world's oldest freestanding parliament, which was founded in 1249. And Malta is the only country in the world where English, Maltese and Italian are all official languages. And Malta has the world's highest concentration of churches per capita, with over 360 churches on the islands. And Malta is a popular filming location and has been used as a stand-in for other Mediterranean countries in films such as Gladiator, Troy and The Count of Monte Cristo. So a very interesting country. Unfortunately, I've never been there, but I'm definitely planning to go there someday. If you want to know more about Brexit or UK politics, the next video is right here in the end screen. I'll see you there. I'll be back.